This week, WWE let go of Keith Lee, Frankie Monet, Ember Moon, Karrion Kross, Scarlett Bordeaux, Grand Metalik, Nia Jax, Harry Smith, Mia Yim, Eva Marie, B Fab from Hit Row, which you really like destroyed that group at this point, Oni Larkin, and Lindsay Dorado. There were also more NXT talent, including G Drama and others, let go, but those are the more prominent talents. Some of these people, like Harry Smith and Eva Marie, were brought back earlier this summer, so their releases are come to a surprise to some people. But it's also worth to note that while the company line was about these releases was that these were budget cuts, in the investor call, literally like an hour before all these cuts were announced, they touted a returning record profits and over $250 million in quarterly revenue on the investor call right before these cuts. So take that how you may. Trevor, I already reacted to these. What is your reaction to these cuts?
Because you mentioned it to me, the first person to mention it to me. Then because I saw something about it. I saw like someone behind the scenes got released, and then they also said later on that day wrestlers were going to be released, and I was like, God damn it! Again, like, what the hell? And what's funny and kind of sad was I was just talking about how Keith Lee wasn't used on TV. I just talked about it in the last show, and it doesn't shock me, but at this point, it's just sad. It's just sad. It just makes no sense. And the same fucking reason is the same thing you keep telling these people: budget cuts, budget cuts, budget cuts. You're full of shit, and even they know you're full of shit. They're not stupid. They know it's bogus. Like, if you're not going to respect me enough to tell me why, like, I don't want to have anything to do with you in the first place. Like, it's just getting ridiculous. It's getting super ridiculous.
Yeah, and it seems like this is just going to continue. We'll talk in a later segment about, what we could see happen down the line, but this is the new normal. Yeah. WWE every quarter is going to have a call where they tout record profits, and they're going to talk about how we have made strides in innovating the land of entertainment, and we have made so much money for our investors. And then they're going to cut talent that they're not using, or in some cases they are using, that they have allegedly plans for, and that's just how it is. And there are a lot of people who will say, well, oh, why you are a WWE hate? You just hate WWE. Yeah, no. You know what? I hate the way the company is run. I hate the way the creative is run. I hate the way that they just let go of talent while touting record profits, when even companies, like, say what you want about Sinclair Broadcasting shutting down Ring of Honor, throughout the entire pandemic, they did not run a single show, and they still had everyone under contract, and nobody missed a paycheck. Yep. Say what you want about AEW, you can think it's the shittiest pro wrestling show in the world, right? And you are entitled to that opinion. But not only did they not cut people during the pandemic, they hired more people, and they showcased independent talent every single week. So you can say what you want. The fact that the biggest, most profitable wrestling company in the world was not able to keep these people employed. And a lot of people, here's the thing. You know what the thing we talk about? We get lost in big names like Ember Moon, Nia Jax, and Keith Lee, and we will get to them. But you know who gets lost in these? They weren't the only ones who were cut because of these budget cuts, Trevor. There were also people who worked at corporate who don't make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. There were people who were cut who make, probably like, not going to say minimum wage, but they make just barely enough to get by given their situations, who were probably let go and who don't have unlimited funds. They were also let go from corporate WWE. These are the things you don't hear about. So for you to be the most I feel like I've said this so many times, and I'm not even getting annoyed about saying this. I just don't care about saying it anymore because it feels like it's not making a difference. Nope. You are the most profitable wrestling company in the entire world, yet every other wrestling company below you, or the two major ones in the United States, were able to keep everyone employed, and you, the ones who are touting record profits on the same day you're touting these record profits, you let go, like all these people. It's so tone deaf. It's disrespectful, and you know, all again, storylines, creative, all that BS aside, it's scummy. It is just utterly
It,
scummy, and it,
it,
it and it doesn't make me. I'm sorry, just I'll finish in a second, but it doesn't make
have to
me
take your time.
as a wrestling fan, as a fan of what WWE does sometimes. It doesn't make me like endeared to your company. Like if you think that I'm going to like happily be Team WWE, then no, because you treat everyone like crap. Because everyone's just a cog in a machine. And the thing is, like they always like to say, "Oh, we're a family. We're a
Right.
family. WWE's a family." That narrative is done after all of these cuts. I said it 2 cuts ago. That's the funny thing, or the sad thing. I said this 2 cuts ago. The family narrative, the WWE's a family. It's BS. It's even more BS than it was 2 years ago. And yeah, I got nothing else to say about that.
I mean, if it's a family, it's a very dysfunctional family, and like it's just getting worse. Like you said, the first name that I heard, I wasn't a wrestler. It was someone in corporate, someone behind bars, behind behind the scenes,
Behind bars.
and behind bars. I mean, my bad.
Good.
Bars go with behind anyway. It was behind the scenes, and I'm like okay. Then again, I heard they're taking wrestlers out too, and I was like, it's just getting ridiculous. It's just getting too. It's getting worse. You know what I mean? Because it's not just wrestlers. It's just in everybody, and it's not just good talent. It's newer talent. It's talent that's just scratched the surface. Like that came here for their big break, and their big break is going back to fuck home because they just got cut.
Yep.
It makes no sense.
Mm-hmm. Just some notes on these cuts from what we've learned over the past few days since these cuts happened. There were apparently no creative plans for both Nia Jax nor Eva Marie.
Okay.
Keith Lee was reportedly cut for quote unquote attitude problems. And there were also like the Lindsay Dorado and Grand Metalik cuts. Those are in part due to the fact that I believe Grand Metalik already he wanted to get released. He asked them to get about getting released earlier. And Lindsay Dorado is reportedly also not happy with the company. So those were two that were granted. There's also, speculation. Again, no reports of speculation that the BFAB cut was due to the fact that, she was not as good in the ring as maybe some other people, which we'll get to that in a second, because I think you cut BFAB, you're cutting the legs out of Hit Row from under them, because she could have. Again, this is let's get to the BFAB thing right now, because this one it's a surprising one. It's a surprising one that people don't talk about enough. But this is the same. So they cut BFAB, right, and BFAB was basically the mouthpiece for Hit Row, which I think a new established group that they were trying to bring up and get over. Not only do you cut the person who's supposed to be the mouthpiece for this group because she's not as good a wrestler, apparently. Like that's the thing. And okay, yeah, she has a long way to go as a wrestler. I'm not debating that. But it's the same company that had Lio Rush as a valet. They paid Lio Rush to be a valet, and Lio Rush is like one of the best in-ring performers in the world. And yes, he can talk, but you're telling me B-Fab didn't have a place in WWE? Like, that seems just outrageous. Thanks for watching this video from Real Take Sports Talk. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Also, remember to check out our live show every single Thursday at 8 p.m. right here on the YouTube channel. And remember, keep it real.